Hello, I am Jen. This is A Motivated Mind with Jen Cole, and I am so glad you're here. If you want honest answers to real life questions, valuable and relatable information to the things going on in your life, then go ahead and hit subscribe now and the bell so that you do not miss a thing. You don't want to miss what's going on around here. So welcome. If you've never been here before, welcome back. If you are one of my subscribers, thank you so much. Your support means everything to me. Recently, I did a video called Giants. What are those giants in your life? Are those really giants, or are we just giving those things too much time in our life and too much energy? And then I also did a video talking about my time in sobriety, my time in recovery, how long I have clean, and 6 red flags to relapse, and then a follow-up video talking about what do you do if you've already relapsed, what do you do now. And I said that I would do a second part to the giant video and a third part of relapse video talking about triggers. So I have combined those 2 videos because if you watched that video, there were characteristics of a giant. Is it overwhelming? Does it get your attention? Does it make you feel powerless? And I definitely believe that triggers meet all of the characteristics of a giant. It makes you feel powerless when it shows up. It makes you feel, it definitely gets your attention. It definitely makes you feel like it takes your breath away. It catches you off guard. Things like that. So I wanted to talk about triggers because I think that if we look at triggers in a different way, then I believe that they're going to affect us in a different way. There are 2 types of triggers. First of all, I want to say that there are inside triggers, internal triggers, and outside external triggers. The outside triggers are the people, places, and things. The inside triggers are the memories and emotions that go along with those outside triggers. If you can get a handle on the inside internal triggers, the way that those outside things affect you on the inside, then those things lose their power over you. And that is why I have a picture of a gun up here. This is not about gun control. This is not about the right to bear arms. This is not a political video. We don't do politics right now around here. Who knows, maybe one day, but today is not that day. So most people think that when you pull the trigger, it is the trigger that releases the bullet from the gun. In all actuality, it is because of this. When you pull this back, it pushes in the chamber, it pushes against the back of the bullet, and it releases the bullet. Now I'm using the revolver in this scenario because it's easier for me to relate what I'm trying to get across. The trigger would be the people, places, things, and memories that show up unexpectedly when you are just trying to live your life. And I'm not just talking about in addiction either. I'm talking about trigger from trauma or memories, or if you've had anger issues in your life. Those things can show up and you can feel just as angry as you did when it happened all those years ago. Or you can feel just as scared, just as anxious. Those that deal with PTSD know exactly what I'm talking about. You can feel almost as if you are in that moment, in that situation, just like it happened. The emotions are the lever. The lever produces the bullet. Your emotions produce the reaction. People think it's the trigger that causes people to have a breakdown. That it is the trigger or the memory that causes us to relapse. But in reality, it is what we do with those things that show up. The emotions cause our reaction. Just because I see a bar doesn't make me go in it. My emotions and my feelings and how I'm coping with those emotions are going to cause me to either walk into that bar or walk past it. Things only have power over you when you allow them to have power over you in here. If you've never used drugs in the manner of a straw, then a straw will never be more than a straw to you. But once you bypass that and you've changed it and say you did drugs that way, you snorted things up your nose, then every time in the beginning when you see a straw, it's going to bring back those memories. But it's what you do with those memories that is going to cause the reaction, either good or bad, which will make you feel like you're powerless and make you feel like you're stuck in this situation, and it's going to bring all those things right back up to the surface. Once we gain a better understanding of how to deal with these triggers and how we're able to cope with them, then we're able to change the reaction that we get from them. Driving past the exit that I drove past to and from group is the same exit that I would drive to when I would go into the city to buy drugs. So when I changed what I thought about what was physically there, then it changed my reaction and my emotion. If my emotions and my thoughts said, oh my gosh, I'm driving past that exit again, what if I mess up? I'm so scared. I feel so awful for the things I used to do. If I'm bringing guilt into the situation, if I'm bringing shame as an emotion into the situation, then I am losing my power over the situation and I am stuck in the past. If my emotions that I'm releasing, like the lever, if I'm releasing the emotion of worry, how can I drive past that exit all the time and not relapse? How can I not get off on that exit? Then I'm not in today either, because I'm worried about something that may or may not happen. And from that emotion, the reaction is going to be anxiety. Now, let's rewind. We're driving past that same exit, and I'm saying I'm so grateful that I'm no longer driving off that exit anymore. I'm so grateful what my life looks like today. I'm so grateful that I'm able to drive past that exit. So what has happened? I've changed. The trigger still showed up. The place still showed up. The thing still showed up. The memory still showed up. But what I released, my emotion that I released from that, was gratitude and power. I took my power back from that situation. So the reaction that I set off, the bullet that I released from that, was not powerlessness, was not anxiety, was not shame. It was, I'm in control of my life again. With the Lord's help, of course. I'm back in the driver's seat of my life. My higher power is still in control of my life. I haven't said that Jen knows what she's doing. I don't need any help anymore. Just like with trauma. When trauma shows up in your life, these memories, the trigger, it's what you do with those memories. That's why they say use the grounding techniques, to where you hold on to something that you can physically feel, or you look at something that you can physically see with your eyes, or something that you can hear. If I was having a moment to where I was remembering something right now, I would touch the wall. I can feel it. I can hear my background music playing. I can see the computer, because here is where I am right now in this moment. I'm not back there in that time, in that situation where those things are going on. So when the trigger, when the memory shows up, my emotion and my feelings are safe, secure. I'm not afraid. I'm not anxious. I'm not worried. I'm not scared. So my reaction and the bullet that I'm letting go is going to be completely different than somebody that I used to get high with just showed up, or somebody that hurt me extremely bad just showed up. And if we haven't really got a clear understanding of what these triggers are and how they affect us, and how much we really can control what we do with them. Some people, as I mentioned in my last video, like I used to, believe that if you could be working a program and just going through life, and then all of a sudden you just decide you're going to give up and you're going to go do it because a feeling showed up. I was triggered and I didn't know how to deal with it. But it's the coping skills. This is why we do daily inventories. And I don't just believe in daily inventories for people that are in recovery. I believe that if you are trying to grow as an individual, trying to grow and become successful, not just in a business sense, but trying to become successful in your life and grow and change and create purpose for your life. Have you subscribed yet? Create purpose in your life, then I believe that every day you need to ask yourself, are you growing and changing from the person that you were yesterday? These are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. Is there any part of you that still wants to be back where you used to be? Now this I am referring to recovery-wise. Is there a part of you that's left that's starting to exhibit those red flags that I was talking about? Are you letting your boundaries down? Are you starting to wonder what those people are doing that you used to get high with? If they're still out there, they're still doing the exact same thing that you were doing. They're still caught up in that chaos. If you're exhibiting these 6 red flags, when these triggers show up, we think it is the triggers that are the danger zone, but it is not. In fact, it's the emotions and the feelings that will bring on the reaction every single time. So what are your emotions and what are your feelings? Is there a part of you that has not healed from the things that happened to you? Is there a part of you that still has hatred and resentment towards somebody? Is there a part of you that still wonders if you can go use that one more time? Is there a part of you that wonders if you still can control your ability to use these drugs in a way where it doesn't totally destroy your life? Those are the things that we need to be learning how to deal with, because if this was a bottle of vodka, when I'm in Kroger's, I don't go into the alcohol aisle. I don't go there. I bypass it. I don't go through it. So, just like you've seen me take a drink of water, it's going to automatically trigger something in your mind. You know what it looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like to take a drink of water because of the memories. When you walk into someone's home and they're baking brownies, it triggers a memory in your mind of when you ate brownies. That's how you recognize smells. I smell smoke. I smell gasoline. I smell brownies. Somebody's making chili, because you know what that smells like, because you have the memory already in your brain like a computer. And when your nose, you smell it, it goes through the files in your brain and says, oh, I know what that is. That's chili. Or that's brownies. It's the same thing when we have hurt, pain, and when we've done things in our life, it automatically opens that file in our brain that says, when I used to take this exit, I used to do this. When I see that person, it brings up all those emotions and all those fears, because it triggers a reaction, it triggers an emotion and a feeling inside of us that if we haven't been in this for a while, we're still going to have a reaction and not a response. So to keep the bullet from going off, to stop this from creating a reaction to where we're not just exploding like a gun does, we're going to have to figure out what to do between here and here. That is what coping skills are about. That's where coping skills come in. That's where we learn how to breathe, pause, take a moment, hold. What's already going on up here that you need to deal with? Are you hungry? Don't make decisions when you're hungry. Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? Like they say in AA. I've heard it a couple other places where they say halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired? Don't make a rash decision on those things. What other emotions do you already have up here that has this lever already pulled back? That's why the term and the expression half-cocked came from. Because you're already ready to explode, because you're on high alert, you're half-cocked, the gun is half-cocked already, You're about to explode. You're about to have a breakdown. You're about to hit the wall, physically punch the wall. You're about to just do all this because you're already high emotion. You're not dealing with the emotions that are already opened. When you let your emotions run you and control you, then the reactions that you have, you feel powerless over. When you don't stop for a minute, take a breath, let me call somebody because maybe I don't always know the best thing. Let me reach out to somebody, because what happens when your emotions are running the show, then the reaction that comes out, when the bullet comes out, it's going to hit wherever. It's not going to be aimed at the person that you were angry at. It's not going to go to the person that hurt you. It's going to come to the person that's closest to you, just like if this was a real gun. If I was to take a real gun and just shoot it because of the way I feel and I'm mad and I'm just aiming it anywhere, then whoever is closest to me is going to be the person that's going to get hit. And I believe that once we're able to really get a handle on our emotions, then we will start being able to get a handle on our reactions. And for most of us, it's been a knee-jerk reaction to just give up and run back to where we came from, run back to whatever that situation is, because we don't want to feel these things. It's not the people, places, and things that show up. It's not having a memory, a nightmare, a bad day. It is the emotions and the feelings that come from these things that will cause these reactions. So when I'm able to get a handle on my emotions and the way that I'm dealing with things, then I will be able to change my reaction and my response. If you've gotten anything out of this video, please let me know in the comments. If you're getting anything out of this, if you have experienced these things before, let me know down in the comment below that you agree. Just say, I get it, I agree. Let me know that this has touched you in some way. Share this with people that you know that are in recovery, that you think that they would benefit from this, because this, I make jokes about things sometimes, but in no way, shape, or form do I feel that recovery is a laughing matter. Every day people go back out for that one more time and they don't make it back. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you subscribe. Anything we do well, anything we do, we want to do well. We want to succeed at. YouTube is no exception. I want my channel to grow because I want as many people to know and to grasp these way of thinking that we really can control what happens when we see these triggers, when we have that. So that when you run back into that person that you used to buy from, when you run back into that person that you used to use with, or when you see that person that is walking around as happy as they can be, but you still hold on to the hurt and the anger and the memories of what they've done to you, you have a better handle on your emotions, and you don't just fly off the handle, and the rest of your day is not spent giving them more of your mind, letting them live rent-free in your head, and your serenity is not given over to somebody else. I hope you've enjoyed this. Comment below if you've got anything out of it, and please share this with at least 2 people. I'm Jen Cole, and I approve this message. One more thing. If you follow me on Instagram, take a screenshot of this while you're watching. Post it on Instagram and tag me in it, and I will give you a shout out on my next video. Be kind. Be the kindness that somebody needs in the world. You don't know what people are going through, and you just might be the one person that they need that stops them from having a reaction that would affect somebody else. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, bye-bye.